Good afternoon. And how are we all today? I've got perhaps a smiley face on today, but I've been very busy as per usual, but lovely to see you all. I can see there's people out there already, so please say hello. Would love to know who's watching with me today. I've got some lovely things, well, no lovely things to show you. I've got some fabric to show you. Fabric coming out of my ears, or I should say every orifice. Hello Sarah, lovely to see you today, and there's Heather. The other thing, I have now the orders from people where I delayed, everything's gone today. I think I've got one to go on Friday, but everything's gone. So hopefully you should have all your parcels by the end of the week. It's Wednesday. That is, post office permitting. As yet again, he didn't put them through till 7 o'clock in the evening because he was busy. And to my mind, that's not the point. Hello, Ginny. But they've all gone from here. Any craft store orders? Oh, lovely. I'm glad it did, Heather. And hello, Sharon. Beautiful day. It's the sun. Well, it's just gone in again, but the sun has only just come out here. Hello, Janet. And she says hello to the ladies here as well. Now, you know it's a fabulous day today, 25th of the month, and what does that mean? That's what I was looking for. I don't know where I've put mine. I took a picture. Hi, Pam. Hello, Bridget. Unusual to see you, Bridget. Hope you got some time off or you're relaxing a little. Probably the iPad's there next to you, your computer. Hello, Donna. What did Donna say? Missed that because I was nattering, wasn't I? Lovely to join you. Just seen your ad on the... Oh, right, Donna. I haven't seen it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hello Vera. Hello Pat. She says hi to everyone. And Janet. And the Mug Rug team. That's what I was just about to say. And hello Ellen. And Tracy. And Marion. Good. Oh, your postmen are all isolating. Oh my goodness, Janet. Hello Brenda. Oh, you got your lovely parcel. Brilliant. Brilliant. And Karen. I know, the mug rugs. Hello, Lindsay. The mug rugs are absolutely, hello, Sheila, fantastic. And I don't think any single one of you should be disappointed with what you sent or received. They are absolutely stunning. I am proud of each and every one of you. I did take a photo of mine. Hello, Shirley, this morning. And I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, who's that? Missed that one as well. You were supposed to get 4 weeks off. Oh, of course, your shoulder. Oh, goodness, go away. I always press the wrong bit. Hello, Sue. Oh, goodness, what am I doing? Until your shoulder heals properly, though. Hello, Wendy. Oh, well, I hope you're doing fine. And I hope you'll soon be back, fighting fit to do everything you always wanted to do. Yes. I know Lindsay has been a real star. She is anyway. She is all the time. But it does give her quite a lot of work. And to be honest, I don't know how I wouldn't have been able to do it, put it like that. So thank you so much, Lindsay. And that, I'm sure, comes from everybody. Aha, who's got Trisha's mug rug? Hello, Jill. It was the lady by the same name as myself. Hello, Eileen. Your parcel's gone out today, Eileen. Yes, and she put, I guess who this is from. Well, I'm a little bit lazy, aren't I? Because I've always got two. I've got one to show you that I've made and one that I make as well. So I should have put more effort in. But I tell you, there are some stunning, oh, thank you, Lindsay. There are some stunning, stunning mug rugs coming through. And I'm sure you're all really pleased with them. Oh, there's Linda. Hello, Linda. Yes, so mug rugs, mug rugs. And I'm sure the next ones will be coming out shortly. And I'll have to start thinking, well, I do know what I'm going to do the next one. Slightly different again. But after that, I don't. So I shall have to start thinking. I tell you what, and I suppose you'll probably imagine that this is absolutely true because it is. But my every waking moment, I am thinking. One of the things, or one of the many things at the moment, I am thinking, I have got so much fabric, I don't know what to do with it all. I seriously do not know what to do. Oh, Sharon, you got your goodies. Oh, and your mug rug too. Lovely. So, you know, sometimes too much choice is not good, because when it comes to, deciding what I'm going to put on the next shows or show you, it's like, what shall I use? What shall I do with that? So I had some more this morning, which I shall show you. I had some yesterday as well, which I haven't brought any of yesterday's. And do you know what? Stop. I know, well, I have said I'm going to take a break from one particular, well, it grieves me, but I might not. I've spoken to the rep today, and she's sort of saying, well, it won't come through till February, March, April, but it's just all the ones that I've pre-ordered all the way. But what they're going to do, it's juggling figures, it's juggling. Hello Sue, you love making the first one. Yes. Yeah, it's all the stuff that I've pre-ordered. It just comes through in gluts, 3 or 4, but the company is quite a little bit flexible with us all, because we're all in the same boat. All the people with shops, hello Barbara, I really feel for them, because you know, if business isn't booming, the fabric, and people aren't in and out of shops, you know, the fabric just sits there. With me, it's if I don't do it. Oh, hello Patricia, and hello Sue. If I don't use it, and I can't use everything, and as I say, I don't particularly put fabric on its own on the craft store. I let them do that, and I use it to make kits, etc. Hello Yvonne. Oh, it is, the mug rugs are just fantastic. They have a use, but they also, I'm not going to use mine. If I will show you it tomorrow if it's here somewhere. And Yvonne, lovely to see everyone's mug. I know. I can't remember who was the first. Somebody put, am I the first? But we knew there are so many. I'm so pleased that you're all, you know, taking part. I mean, there's still a fair few that aren't taking part, so it would be nice, you know, if you could, if you're able. But, you know, don't worry too much that you're not. So the subscription, it's closed now for the September one. Lindsay's put all the names on the list for you to have a look, make sure you're on that list. My name isn't, just in case something happens, so there's always one, but it will all be fine. So yes, so you can get making. I know some of you have already made your September one, so which is really good. So you could perhaps make 1 or 2 or 3, or, you know, make some for your little craft fairs, because I see there's loads of craft fairs. Hello Rhonda, going on now, so that everybody can get out with all their stash of goodies that they've been making. Yeah, so mug rugs, fantastic. You're not going to use your, no, that's what I thought. Mine's so pretty. I just want to have a lovely collection. I could possibly frame them, but we shall, might take a whole wall in the end, because we shall keep going. Oh, it's a beautiful hot day for you today. Hasn't been particularly here. Not bad, not raining. How about a Halloween one for October? True. The only thing, not everybody does Halloween, but you can always, yeah, I'll have some thoughts about that. You notice that quite a few suppliers, what is Karen saying, bring the same fabrics, yeah, at the same time. Yes, yeah. I know, but of the old collections, Karen, I haven't got enough fabric to do. But yes, they do, because they're all coming in at the same time. What have I seen this week that I thought, oh, Cottage Blur has been on, but I like my puff quilt. You've seen my puff quilt? It really shows off all those fabrics. I was very pleased when I'd finished doing that, and it is lovely and easy to do. I shall probably have a few mini charms left, because I put, I offered you ladies the charm packs before they've gone on the show. So I think I've just got a couple of charm packs left, and probably 10 mini charms if anybody wanted those. But I've been, Carrie sent it by email and put it on your behalf. Oh, I missed what you said there, Lindsay. Never mind. Hello, Bev. Nice to see you today. Yes, so I've got those. So I've been looking through because I'm still thinking my, I call them subscription boxes, but they're not subscription, and how I'm going to do it. So fabrics I have for that, I've got illustrations I'm going to use. Fanciful Forest, Cottage Block 1 and 2, because there's so many in that range. Batiks I've got, so there's 2 colourways I do of those. Rhonda's off on the day. Oh, lovely. I've got some Moody Bloom that I could use, some Sunshine Soul, Flowers for Freya, Mill Creek Garden, Be Grateful. Oh my goodness. And then on the Macawa side, well, I've had, oh my goodness, I don't know how many, probably 40 bolts of tonal ditsies. So they're in greys, they're in blues, they're in reds, they're in greens, and I can't think if there was browns or not, but there's loads. So there would be some of those. Cats, you know, they're beautiful cats fabric. The garden flowers, I've still got quite a bit, not loads, but quite a bit of that left. So that is what I am planning to do. It won't be just yet, because after the craft store shows on Saturday the 28th at 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock, if I hadn't told you once before or many times before, I have basically got 2 days to get all of, hello Heather, I have basically got 2 days to get all the orders out. So they're pulling a few strings and getting things done. Being bank holiday, saying that, my orders don't come through really till Tuesday. And then I have to get everything out and invoiced on Tuesday. So that ain't gonna happen. But we're sort of, we're doing things so that hopefully I can do that. So, oh, I see you're talking to Carrie. Yeah, that's okay. So, yes, I shall have all of that to do. Then hopefully the next week, because we will be into September on Wednesday. Oh my goodness. I'll be able to sort these subscription boxes out. And I'm trying to work out, hello Joanna. Don't worry, I wasn't on time. I was on the phone. Yeah, so hopefully I can get those out. And then working towards my show on the 19th of September. I really am wishing my time away. No, I'm not really. But so much going on, and I just need to really knuckle down and get everything I want to do done. So, hello Sam, lovely to see you. So, right, what I was going to show you today, I'm going to show you some fabric. Now, I've also talked about, I had another, what did I think I had? Yeah, because I had 40 metres of some. I probably had coming on 30, 90, 900, it sounds dreadful, in one fabric range. The Adidas Sitar Bluebird is beautiful, and I had, there's 30 different fabrics, and I have about 950 metres of that in total. Would you like some? So what I am definitely going to do some boxes with using the Bluebird, but I also thought, because all of the fabrics are absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. They are blues, there's some darker blues in there, but dark throughs to light blues and ivory, creamy ivories, and that all of the designs are stunning. They really are. Don't use those words often, but they are. Hello Christine, don't worry about being late. So I thought I would show you, because you can see the majority of colours, I thought I would show you three of the ones where I got extra meterage, so more than 30 metres, oh my goodness. because I thought I would offer, I know it won't be for everyone, I would offer a pack of 27 fat quarters plus a whole metre of the focal fabric, if you like. Now, I haven't taken the plastic off. No, I will take the plastic off so you can see. So there's 3. Can you see this? How useful could this be? So you've got a quick glimpse of that. I'll show you it in more detail in a moment. So patchwork theme. Hello, Mary. Nice to see you today. I hope you're well. And then we have hexagon patchwork. So this is where you look fantastic at your sewing and piecing. It is delicious. It really is, Janet, you know. But actually, the fabric is printed. So I'll show you this one first. So this is the darkest of the, but it shows you all the blues. Just look at that. Let's just open it a little bit more so you can see. Look at that. What do you think? Absolutely beautiful. Now, the reason I thought I would offer packs, now, you know, they won't be, we are talking an amount of money, and we're probably talking £90. I'm looking at postage because it will weigh something, and I think postage is going to be about £10, but I'm going to work out a price to include the postage and also at a discounted price, because these fabrics are retailing in many places at £13 a metre. And because of the number of fabrics there are in the range, so there's 27 plus these 3 that I'm going to show you, it's which ones do you choose? And I'm thinking, if I put them on the website, it's patchwork. It is. It absolutely is. To put them on the website, every time I'd have to think, which one's that, which one's that. It's really hard, because some of the designs come in perhaps 2 or 3 of the colours. So you can see the darker blue in there. You can see some of the designs that are printed on there, and they are in the actual fabrics as well on the bolt. So absolutely stunning. So that is the first one. So you've got your Lemoyne stars, and then you have, let me show you this one first. So this one is quite similar, but you've got more of a creamy vibe, and the blue stars show more, and you've got that large scale print, the floral print in the creamy beigey colourway there. So it really, really does show it off beautifully. So as I say, what I was going to do is a bundle of 27, so you'd have every single fabric that's in the range, plus a metre of one, the choice is yours, one of these 3. So that one is the second one, also beautiful, showing off those stars. And then, loving your patchwork, obviously we'd have to have the traditional handpiece patchwork in the hexagons. Just look at those. So you can see the designs in those hexagons, and they are some of the fabrics, or all of the fabrics are shown throughout that fabric there. And you can see all the background, the creamy ones, they've all got a design on them as well. So absolutely beautiful. Just love it. Oh, I'm just thinking I've got Sophie and Happy Days fabric there as well. Oh, just too much. I know you would all love to be, hello Elaine, you would love to be surrounded by all these fabrics. Wouldn't you just? Is there plain blues or creams to go with it? Don't know. I don't think that. I think they're all patterned, but they're all they're subtle, so that, you know, even when you look at these, hello Jean Ann, it's those creamy ones. You've got some of the lighter creamy ones, and this one here, there is a design, but it looks plain. So I could possibly possibly source, because Macau usually have planes in one or another that go alongside, but they didn't put them in the range this particular time. So I'd have to have a look at that. I really can't afford to put any more fabrics together with this range, to be honest. But although, as I say, they're not plain, they are plainish. It's a little bit like the Spray Time. It's not a plain fabric, it has a design to it, but it's still plain in my eyes. But really lovely, so I hope you like those. The other range, so that's just 3 of the focal ones, as I say. The other ones I was going to show you, or I am going to show you, is Basic Grey, and it is called, have I written it down? Oh, it's on the bolt anyway, isn't it? It is called Boudoir. Boudoir. Ooh. Look at that for a colour. Boudoir. So this one, this reminds me, not quite, well, Stiletto. Remember the range Stiletto? I'll just take all the fabrics off. I love this one. This one looks like lace. You know the, look at that. Yes. So you've got very, very subtle. You know, I've just brought 2 through in that same design, but different colourways. Love that. It's like that all over lace design, isn't it? So those, so I just brought a few because I think there is probably 24, 30 of these in this range as well. So just to give you, you've been waiting to see Boudoir. Have you, Bridget? Would like it? Yeah, I think it would complement the. I was just going to say it looks like, yes, it does, doesn't it? So I'll just get 2 more colours. I think it would complement Stiletto very, very well. Was Stiletto Basic Grey? I can't remember. It may very well be. So then you have 2 of these. So here again you've got the same design but in the 2 different colourways, and they just, I just think they're rather nice. When I choose fabrics, I do like to, I'm very much towards, oh it is, that's why then Bridget, isn't it? Yeah. I very much try to bring, yes Lindsay, it is, different colours, because I'm very pastel. Hello Louise, long time, I know. Hope you're well, and the boys. I'm not going through their names again because they're not on the tip of my tongue. I sometimes I'm good, but I'm not feeling good today. My mind is just all muddled, huddled, hashed, you know, that sort of thing. So there are those 2. I'll pick them all up just briefly in a minute so that you can see. And then we'll go on to the greyer tones. Oh. So there's a grey, greyish one there. And, oh, that's the same design as well. Oh, wrong way. They do, that's it. They do come off better. So here are, so whereas Stiletto was more black, saying that, I didn't have the whole range. It was one of those that I wished I probably had. So same design as the previous 2, but boy, don't they go well. Let's just see if I can show you all 4 of those. There. Look at those. Could you see a log cabin in that? Because of the shading, you're going to have some boudoir. I think you might do, Bridget. It is just lovely. But all those tones, you know, you have darks one side and lights the other, just like you do in a log cabin. And I don't know why, but this next one reminds me of boudoir. Just the design. It's sort of filigree gates. Very pretty. Yes, so it is indeed. So I've got 3 more. And these 2 are the same. Oh, the same design, these top 2. but just the different colourways. So you've got the ivory and so there are those two there. Now can you see that? It's almost like a mushroomy brown. And it's got a green tinge to it, I think. And then the previous one, which I said just reminds me of Filigree Gates. Look at that. I just think they are lovely. And if you could imagine another, I don't know, 15 at least to go with these. So there'll be a similar colourway. There's probably a darker grey. Yes, I should probably do these in either. It's really hard to put the patchwork fabric. I will sell by the metre because I shall put it in with the packs of the fat quarters as well. So yes, there we go. So there are those. So again, really nice. What does one do with them all? Now that bolt looks bigger. So no, that's got 6. You see, they're strange. They're usually yeah. Oh, that one's got 7. I think some bolts are wound tighter than others, so that let's just get that other one just there so you can see the intensity. Oh, that is just lovely. Whoops. I want you to see that back one there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So look how beautifully those go. But yeah, what can you expect when they have, hello Josie, lovely to see you. What can you expect? They look brown actually, but they're grey. Yeah. I could spend all night just looking. I know, Eileen. I know. Yeah. But they are so beautiful. So no, when I was speaking, I was saying, look, please don't send me any more. Apparently, there are a lot of delays. Hello, Dorothy. A lot of delays at the ports. So, and this is the problem, is that, you know, I perhaps don't get any for 3 weeks, and then within a week I have 4 ranges, and can you imagine 120 odd bolts? Oh, don't worry, Judith. I've just been showing some fabrics just to, oh, it's tea time. My throat is saying it's tea time. You need a drink. So those are they. There was another range I had yesterday, and that was Tranquility. Can't for the life of remember ordering them. I bet they have been delayed a long time because they're very nice, but I thought, what was I thinking I'd use them for? I don't know. But one just accepts them. Yes. We do need a catch-up, Sharon. I need a catch-up too. Because September is on its way. Hope Mark's doing okay. I haven't spoken to you for a long time, so just hope you're all doing well. So, anyhow, what else have you've seen the project kits that I've got made. I have done created some events, so you should have seen all the bits and pieces, and I hope you like the Christmas centerpiece. I know a lot of you, I've made them probably 5-6 years ago for the first time, and so there are many of you that have already made them, and about 2 years ago I did have them on a show at the craft store at Chandra as it was, but I thought it's about time I did some again. So there's a traditional and the grey option, and the grey is beautiful. It's one of the Scandi Macau range, or Macau Scandi range, in the grey, just like I did the boxy pouches. So they all coordinate really beautifully. Little gold bows on there, and Tracy kindly made both of them for me. I don't know how I'd have got everything done because I spent the weekend sewing all weekend, which is lovely. But when you're on a bit of a timer, you know you've got so much to do. On Sunday, when did I make that? Sunday I had 4 bags to make, and I got them the woven flap ones, and I was really pleased. Will that match with the table runner? Yes, it will. It will. Oh, itchy nose. What does that mean? Oh, it will. Didn't think about that. Boxy pouches. Yep. But yes, all the fabrics are from that same range. So yeah, and especially where those stars are, because in the middle of the urban Christmas table runner, there's sort of plainish grey, isn't there? Tracy Watts is a star, just like you are, Lindsay. So, and Tracy was away at the weekend as well. I don't know where she gets her energy from to do all these things. So, a surprise. Ugh, a surprise. Oh, I wonder what that could be. A surprise. Still, it must be a big surprise. Oh, it would be still my beauty cart. I know. Have a look at some pictures, but oh, yeah, it is. It did look really, really nice, even better than I expected, because you know, basically, it's formed from squares. So it's one of those projects where you see the shape of it and think, how on earth do you make that? That looks so complicated, but actually it's not. And I have showed you, there is a Trisha time showing you the principle, the technique of how you put them together. And I think there's also a little YouTube one I did ages ago. I was looking on my YouTube, and I must do some more, I really must. But I can remember how long it used to take to upload once I'd filmed it. And but one of them, and I know, compared with lots of people, hello Sally, compared with lots of names, celebrities, it probably is not many, but do you remember the fabric boxes that I made where you make from a square and then you have little pointy flaps on each side? Have I forgotten you off of the urban fabric? Oh my goodness, yes Yvonne, I have. Ooh, I'll look back afterwards. I have completely. Yes, because I haven't. No, I haven't sent out a. Or have I? I'll have a look back because that was ages ago. Oops, oops. I'll have a look afterwards. Sorry. I'm just thinking whether I usually know when I put a 505, and I don't think I have. Don't think. Let me have a look. Yes, that sidetracked me there. What was I saying? What was I saying? Yes, when it comes from squares, that it is that what I was saying? Oh, I can't remember. Never mind. Anyhow. Oh right. No, I haven't then. I haven't then, Yvonne. Because I always print off a payment, or it must be in some papers, because I print off when there's an order in one pile, and once they're paid I put it into another pile, then I pick them up and I do them. So, oh, that's why. I shall have to make sure I have enough fabric for what I put on. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The I thought I sent you a message back saying how much it was, but we'll I'll have a look into that. Oh, well done, Patricia. You've been looking through your little book, haven't you? Is it your little red book? Yes. Oh yes. Bridget loved making Christmas Eve boxes. Yes. I couldn't I? Thing is, with my Christmas Eve box, lots of other people have done a Christmas Eve box as well. Some people have even called it a Christmas Eve box, but there we go. We'll wait to see the number of puff quilts out there. The YouTube videos. Oh, the YouTube videos, that's what I was saying. Yes, thank you, Lindsay. You're on my shoulder there. The YouTube videos. That fabric box, as I say, which has little pointy bits, you cut a bit off. What do? We make a square, a largish square, or whatever size you like. Then we fold it point to point. Let me have a look like this. We fold it point to point like that. Then we stitch down here, and we stitch down here. And then we fold it the other way so that, so that it goes, I don't know, yeah, point to point like that. And we stitch down here and cut these bits off. Then these little bits fold around like that. That's a bit better. Yeah. They fold around like that. So you have a tub that has those pointy bits. 82,000 views. But as I say, my friend Debbie Shaw's probably had a million, but it felt quite a lot when I saw it, which made me think I must do some more. Okay, so today what I thought I would do, as you are such a lovely bunch, I haven't given you a free PDF for a long time. So well, it's not a PDF, it's measurements, so that what we're going to make today, where is my tea, Martin? It is 5:10. So today, this is a little bit of, how about that? This is a little bit of Hello Sunshine. I have got some more beef fabrics as well, I keep seeing it. So, I thought, oh, how about a bit of coral with bees on? And it's a divided fabric tub. Nice and easy to make. Now, for any of you who have bought the double bottle bag, you bought a 15.5, yes, you bought, yeah, 15.5-inch ruler is fabulous. Just to make, yeah. Gosh, I did it quite a while ago, Lindsay. Who's that? Hi, everyone. Hope you're well. That is, hello, Mavis. Hope you're well too. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. So, this little divider, I've used Styleville. So I've used the foam stabiliser because I wanted it to have a bit of body. But you could use Thermolamp if you like a softer feel. Here he is. He must have been making, he must have heard me.
Yeah, I did. I'm still struggling with the phone.
Oh, right.
I just spoke to somebody else who's watching you.
Oh, really? Who's that?
Yeah. Can't remember.
Who's watching me, watching you? Oh, it's Janet. Oh, dear. What is he doing? Martin had an issue today. He's going to his first music gig, much to my distaste. Early September, next week probably. Yeah, a week tomorrow. I need to make a few quick. Oh yes, thank you, Eileen. And he couldn't remember his Apple ID. So, is that what he did, Janet? Christmas Eve box with you. That's a good idea, Bridget. So, Victoria was sorting it out for him. And so she used my email address, and he was putting he wanted to have his COVID certificate on his phone. Oh, lovely, Louise. So she did that I then said, well, I'll put mine on. When mine went on, hello, Nikki, don't worry, it was Martin's. So it's like, oh my goodness. In between time, his phone and my phone rang at the very same time. So, something was going on where it was joining the two. Who is he going to see? No idea. Am I interested? No. Martin rang you, didn't he, Janet? Yeah. So the two phones go off and it's for me. So, I don't know what she did then. She logged out. She basically logged out and set him up a separate email address because he uses mine. And so it's now all sorted out. However, it lost all of his telephone numbers in his mobile. Oh, that was the other thing, wasn't it? Oh, thank you, Nikki. You've reminded me. I'll have to go and fetch it. I've forgotten all about that. Oh, I knew there was something. So, as Martin, he's a lovely man. Janet. Oh, dear. Well, you'd probably faint if Martin was similarly at this end. So anyhow, he has found his old phone, which is making the most awful noise. He got a new one because it wasn't charging. Well, it's obviously not doing that now. He's got it plugged in, and he's trying to transfer his old numbers onto the phone. And he's obviously ringing my people. Bear with while I go fetch. Have a look at that messy background. Yes. What are you doing, Martin? Well, you rang somebody else. I know you didn't mean to. I don't know. So, ladies, if you ever ring me, you'll probably get Martin answering, or he'll be sending you messages or whatever. Right, so, drum roll, da-da. I thought what I'd probably do, what I will probably do, because I did say that I would show you my new ruler. But what was I going to do? Actually, no, I will leave it until tomorrow. What I thought I would do, Nikki, sorry, what's that? Yeah, I have just fetched it, but you've been going to dancing there expecting the card you're given when you had your jabs. Oh yeah, well, on this particular ticket it says you need your NHS COVID certificate, so he's going to put it on his phone. I thought he could have taken his cards, but I've still got my cards, my one card. Yes, bring it into a phone shop and they will port everything over for him. Do you think? Yes, I suppose they could, but he's very much a technophobe more than I. Yes, what I was going to do, because I will be taking it on the show on when? September the 19th, but they're not going to be here for 2 weeks because Andy is up in Scotland at the moment. So he sent me through the prototype to just see if I needed to change it at all or add anything, take anything away. But what I wanted to do was, because it's a little bit secret, I wanted to do it in our Trisha Sews group. And then what I would do is, for anybody that liked it, I would do another demo, and I will put it on a pre-order for the lovely ladies in the private Trisha Sews group. Yeah, on a private order on a special price as well. So, although I've got it sitting near me, I will tell you what I'll show you just a little bit of it, just a sneaky, oh no, that's got some writing on there. If I cover up a little bit, I will show you. So the only thing, I'm not keen on the type style is used on there, but, so let's just see, shall I show you? Oh. So it is called, oh no, I'm pulling that the wrong way. Whoops, that away. I don't want to divulge it all. Oops. There we go. How about that? So that is going to be called the Amazing Mitre. That's all I'm going to show you now. So what will I do? If I get a chance tomorrow or Friday, I know. Yeah, I will do a Facebook Live in the Trisha Sews group. In fact, what could I do? Perhaps I could, let me see. I know, Jean-Anne. How about, I can't do a, well no, we only had it last week, didn't we? Or the week before. A Thrifty Thursday. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I will go live in the Trisha Sews group, and I mean it this time, I will be in that group. So tomorrow night, so Thursday, so it's a time that you would probably expect, 7 o'clock, Trisha Sews group, and I'll show you it and tell you how much it will be, and if you would like to pre-order for when they come in. No payments beforehand, just to say that you would like one, and I'll make sure it's set aside for when my enormous order comes through, because I've ordered a lot, because I've thought it's quite useful. It's not just what I came up with only a short while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, it was only when we were doing a particular technique. So yeah, I know I'm a tease, I'm sorry, but I have to think about the wider picture, if you like. It's a good cup of tea today, Martin. So I think we'd better get started, because I'm past my 5:15 time. I could rabbit on forever, couldn't I? I was seeing that, oh, just something random. The lovely Dawn Wheeler has become a presenter. And I thought one of the people, oh, thank you, Karen. Catherine Sturrock was purely a demonstrator for different companies. Now she's a presenter. Paula Pasquale also. No cutting corners. No. Also a presenter. So, and somebody did say to me, "Oh, you ought to be." No. I couldn't talk for as long as they do. I can do this, but I'm talking one dimension, aren't I? I'm talking sewing. I couldn't talk about everything else in that. You know, on the hour, every other hour, or every 3 hours, just too much. You did miss the, yeah. You can always see it. Are they on Saturday? No. Oh, she was Bridget, wasn't she? Yes, she was. Yeah. So it's good to have crafting presenters. What about the new one, Richard Orford? Is it? He looked lovely. So, oh, the other thing then, yeah, because I only found out yesterday. So my presenters are the lovely, well, it's the same person for both shows, Derek Marks. He is lovely. I think I've worked with him twice before. Yeah, you're right, Bridget. She is an absolute guru where the silhouette is concerned, amongst other things. So yeah, this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. If you, and I was saying, if you bought the bottle bag PDF or pattern instruction pack, it is based on that. But I have just, what I've done this time, I've added a little bit of foam. Can you see? So rather than just fabric, so you could use purely fabric, 2 layers of fabric there, but I put foam in there and it makes, you do. Yeah. So it just makes it a little bit more sturdy. Oh, you're hoping your grandson doesn't wake up. But so you'll be able to see this, but also I have actually already typed up, I've got some measurements, and if you've got pen and paper at the ready, I'll give you them as I go along, or I'll give you them now as well, but I'll give you them as they go along. Yeah, he is quite dishy. I was sort of hoping I might get him, but there'll be another time, I'm sure. So I'll give you the measurements, but then I shall kindly ask Lindsay, I'll send her the PDF through, and she'll put them in the files for you so that you can make your own. But it is, as I say, based on the bottle bag. So if you've got that already, I've just altered certain measurements because that's the same size as your bottle bag, except the bottle bag is longer at these sides. So what you also could do if you wanted to is to put a little handle on each side, or here, whatever you like. But I just thought we could have a basic divided. So I think you would quite easily, let me have a look. I have a pack. I do have a pack of fat quarters there. Oh yes, look at those. Halloween fat quarters. Halloween fat quarters are going on the show. Oh, that fits quite nicely, can you see? Or, you know, whatever you like. If you lined it with clear vinyl, who's missed the latest other? Eileen's sending me a message already. Oh, Eileen. I thought you were, yeah, you were watching, weren't you? Or perhaps I haven't said Eileen. Perhaps you just go, yes, I think you did. Get in there, we say. Anyhow, yes. So you could line it with clear vinyl, and then you could plants in there. Motorhome store. Yes. Haven't got a motorhome. I need a motorhome. We discussed it again, but Martin said no. He's so mean. He's so mean. Anyhow, right. So I've given you a chance now to get pen and paper ready if you want to. But otherwise, the files for all the measurements will be in the So Trisha Sews group. So anybody who is not in the group, if you'd like to, you can always search Sew, as in S-O on this occasion, Trisha, T-R-I-S-H-A, Sews, S-E-W-S, and you will have to request to join. And oh, you're still, oh, I see. So you type on one, Eileen, and watch on the other. Yeah. Yes, so if you'd like to be in the group, just request to join, and Lindsay or Tracy or myself, I don't usually get there in time quick enough, but Lindsay will probably, she will approve you, so that you can join our lovely private group where what says in the group or shown in the group is not shown anywhere else. So you can say what you like, nice things of course, but I don't have to say that because you're all lovely ladies, and we have a lovely time there, inspiring others and just having a generally nice time. So this is what we are going to make, and I might, oh, I could pop it just there, couldn't I? Just pull that out a little bit. There we are. So we'll pop it there so that you can see. So if I do it like that, you can see that it's got a divider. So what we have, lining pieces. No, we have outer. Let's have a look first of all. So we have got a base piece. The base piece is 9 by 4.5. There is our base. Okay. And we have wadding, or the foam wadding, the same size, and I've already just stitched the whole way around the edge, not perfectly. Can you see I've done the largest stitch length, which is 5 on my machine, and I've just gone round the edge just to hold this the fabric to the foam, because what I find, I love my 505 spray, but whatever the Styleville foam is made of, it really doesn't stick well at all. It holds a little bit, but it pulls away. So I find the easiest thing to do when whatever project I'm doing with the Styleville foam, I always sew about 1/8 of an inch, so that when you come to stitch it together, all of those stitches are hidden 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So 9 by 4.5. Then you need 2, which are, these are the sides. So these are the long sides here. Okay, just there. And they are, no, sorry, they're front and back. Front, I call that front and back. These ones are the sides. Front and back, 9 by 6, 9 inches by 6 inches. Again, I put the foam on the back and I just stitched the whole way around. Okay, so they're already done. And then you want your sides, you want 2 of those, and these will go here at the sides. So they are 6 inches high by 4.5 wide. Okay. So when it comes to, so basically your wadding and your outer fabric are the same. That's just what you need. You do need one more piece of the foam, which is, where's it gone? Here it is. A 4.5 inch square. That is going into the middle of the divider. Okay. Just looking on the edge of my bolts, I've written something, but what it is, I don't know. Oh, FGB, festive gift box. Okay, so with your lining fabric, again, you need your base 9 inches by 4.5. So one piece for your base, 9 by 4.5. You then need 2 side pieces, which are the same as the outer, 4.5 by 6, 4.5 across, 6 down. That's the height of the tub. Then, oh, where's my other piece gone? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need another piece, and it has disappeared. Oh, can you believe it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you need 4. I've got 5 there. You need 4 pieces, so this is where the divider fits. So that makes your side, and the divider on the floor, the divider goes in the middle. So these pieces need to be 6 inches long. Oh, you love yours, Nikki. 6 inches long, but you want them to be 4 3/4 inches wide, and you want 4 pieces, because 2 pieces make one side, and you've got 2 sides, which makes, oh, here it is. Here it is. I picked it up, didn't I? And then this is the divider. This is what covers the bit of Styleville there. So that will be your divider. We are going to do some stitching, but this piece is 10 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. 10 inches long, 4.5 inches wide. But it will all be in the, oh, by Janet, this will all be in the PDF for you for later. So what we'll do first of all, nice and easy. really is nice and easy. Oh, okay. So let me bring this down so that you can see what I'm doing. Move. Oops. That was a bit close, wasn't it? Let's see there, if we can see there. Okay. So we're going to take, first of all, our base. So here is our base piece. And we are going to, well, what I like to do, you can start with the sides. So we're going to take a side piece. Just go back a little bit further. That's it. We're going to take a side piece and we're going to put right sides together along the long edge. And then I'm just going to stitch along this long edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can use any consistent seam allowance. If you like to use a little bit bigger, the width of your foot, it just means it will just be slightly smaller made up, but as long as you're consistent, it doesn't matter. But I just tend to do 1/4 inch for the majority of things. So I'll leave the stitch length at 2.4 or 2.5, the size that it is default, so it comes up to that. And as I say, we're just going to stitch. I do like to put a little reverse at the beginning, just so that it holds really well into those corners. So lining up that edge, and when I get to the end, just reverse there and cut. So then we will go, so we've got one piece there. Then I will go along the other side. And again, long edge to long edge, right sides together. This bit is the easy bit, and then I'm just going to stitch along this long edge. So just make sure, use pins if you'd like to, but I just tend to whiz away, little reverse there. The foam stabilizer or foam wadding really holds it nicely together anyway. So pinning or clipping is not always essential. And then I'm going to put the short sides now. So the short side here onto the end here. Now what I look at is here, just fold those seams that you've just sewn outwards and then line up your 4.5 inches here so that you've got a little overlap over the seam there and a little overlap there, so it's central. And then if you flatten those seams outwards, it just means, and we'll reverse here as well, it means you've got your seam allowance at both edges. When we come to bring the side seams together, there we are. So there we have a next one, and then we'll just turn it the opposite way, and we'll take our last side, our second side, onto here. So again, pull these seams here outwards, and then you can line up that centrally, and you've got a little seam allowance there as well. So the foam, oh, drop that bit. The foam wadding does tend to pull it up a little bit, so it doesn't look as if you've got a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but it gives you an allowance there, which is enough for making this. Okay, next thing we do, we have our piece with all 4 pieces joined. So we're going to pull 2 adjacent sides together. Whoops, no, here. So I bring those 2, I'm just dropping everything on the floor. Move them out of the way. So I'm just going to bring those 2 sides here. Now I like to match the top edge. So you can see here's the top edge. So I match that first. If you want to put a clip on there just to hold that together, but then I put my finger into here and I take my finger down to the bottom and pinch it so that I know that is right at the bottom, and I hold that whilst I put this under the machine, because we do want this top edge to match up. At the bottom it will match anyway, and then straight down And you could reverse her if you like, but we've reversed once already, so we'll leave that as it is. So there is your first corner made. So this is like quite a few of the bags I make, but it's just so easy. Rather than having to, so I've done exactly the same thing again, rather than having to insert a base in between 4 pieces of fabric which have been sewn together and they don't fit. This way, by sewing everything around the base, it makes life so much easier. Okay, so now we have 2 sides, so we just want these 2 here. So again, right sides together, pull it down to that bottom, and I'm pressing down on the foam just to keep it together. Reverse at the top. I'll put my finger in there just to, but I'm just pressing down just to keep those edges together. Okay, and the last one, we'll do the same again. That's it. Same again, hold the top edge, finger down the middle to the base, and then that gets it completely in the right place, holding the edges together, and push that down. I'm just holding that down so that you can stitch right down to the bottom. So that is your outer completely made. So all we need to do now is just turn that through to the right side. I religiously poke out the corners because occasionally, so I'll pull that out, you might have missed a little bit up here, or the fabric has shifted, and then you can just go back in and just pushing that out and push that out. You can go back in and re-stitch, but there is the basis of your, we've just got to line it, it's the basis of your tub. Okay, so that is that bit. We'll just set that aside now. I'll pick up my other pieces. So what we'll do now is the divider. So with the divider, we're going to fold it in half. If this is patterned fabric, we want right sides together. As this is plain, it really doesn't matter. It's a lovely, lovely colour. So I'm going to go down to a short stitch length again. 1/4 inch seam allowance, definitely. And then just stitch those raw edges, the short raw edges together. And then we're going to turn it to the right side so that raw edge is hidden in the middle. Just, I will finger press that along here. Okay, and then I'm just going to tuck my foam wadding in the middle. So I'll just, it does tend to stick to the fabric, but you just push that through, just curve it a little bit, and then where your seam is at the top, you can just pull that across, and the seam sits one side, and that piece, the seam, is going to go in the bottom of the, or the base of it, and then I'll just pull that to the top. So my edge along the top is the folded edge. What I'm going to do, there's a little bit of a gap there, which is fine, because that will make it easier for when we sew this in. I'm just going to top stitch across the top there. And I think what I might do, actually, I do love my, that's it, my triple stitch. So I'm going to do the longest one I can. And I'm just going to stitch across here because it just, it accentuates the stitching and I like it. And as I said, it didn't take too long to do that. So let me just show you that there. So try your triple stitch. It's got 3 vertical lines next to each other, and you can see how that really, really shows up. So we'll go back to our normal stitch and we'll move on to 5.6 and stay the same. So there is my, just clip that off, I haven't got any scissors to hand. Oh, yeah, not going to do much with the seam ripper's cap, are we? So let's just get our seam ripper, just trim that bit off, and also this little bit here. Okay, that is all going to be hidden in the seam, but we'll trim it off anyway. Oh. Okay, so that is our triple stitch there. So we'll do this first of all. So what we're going to do, no we won't, we'll start with the line. So we'll start just the same as we did before. We've got our base lining, so base lining here, and we are going to put our sides. So just make sure, because the side pieces are a very similar size to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the front and back pieces. That's it, just make sure that one's a bit longer, that's right. So the wider ones are for your front and back. So just keep those 4 all together and out of the way. If you try to use one of these against the edge of your base fabric, you'll find it's too long anyway. So let's pop those out of the way. So we'll put our base pieces on first. So we're going to take one of the side edges and we're going to put them right sides together along the short edge, and it will fit. If it doesn't fit, you've picked up the wrong piece. So we're just going to stitch across the bottom here. So along the short edge, 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then, so that is one side. We're now going to do the same at this edge. So right sides together, line that up, and then stitch across here. So 1/4 inch again. So now we have our basis. So there is our box piece with the 2 sides. We've now got to make these the front and back. So front and back, we'll take 2 to start off with, because 2 are going to make a side and the other 2 are going to make the other side. So we'll take 1, I'll put the other one under here. What we do, we take 1. Now this is the top, so we'll say this is the top of our box, and when we line them up together, we want the bottom edge here, we want the, can you see, we want the bottom to be 1/4 inch below our divider. So if we pop it like that, can you see how that's a little bit lower? I'll put a pin at the bottom here just to show you. And because it's got nothing to match with the top yet, but it's this bottom bit you want 1/4 inch above. So then we'll take our second one, line that up, so we're sandwiching the divider, line that up with the top edge, and I could also put a pin in here. So I'll put a pin there to hold it together, and then you'll find, can you see that that lines up the bottom piece as well? So you have got here 1/4 inch. So here's your divider, you've got 1/4 inch. This is for when we are stitching it to the base. So now I'm going to stitch down that edge to enclose and trap that foam wadding, and it's a good idea to just reverse at the top there, take that pin out and straight down this side. Whoops, the top of it there. So can you see how my 1/4 inch seam has gone in? All I'm going to do, I'm going to start back up here where the 1/4 inch was accurate. Oh, it's gone off a little bit all the way. So I'm going to start back, and I'm going to watch that edge of my foot a little bit better this time, so it doesn't come off. And then I've got 2 lines. Can you see I've got 2 lines? Doesn't matter, an extra little bit of strength. Oh, that's not so good though. No, Trisha's going to have to unpick this, because can you see how it slipped? I didn't want to, so I must have taken my, right, let's see, seam ripper in action. So I haven't got a little ball on there, but I'm just going to push my other one, with my other seam rippers there. It was around. No. It fell on the floor. No. So the best seam rippers have got that little ball there, and then when you put your the ball in between the fabrics there, it pulls the fabric away. Oh goodness, and I even did 2 lines of stitching, didn't I? Oh goodness. So let's just see. Perhaps I will do it this way this time. So I'm doing it the wrong way for doing this, but I'm just going to keep clipping those threads because I've got 2 rows of stitching. I should have checked first. It probably pulled it up because I did that 2nd row. And oh, what we don't want to do is cut the fabric. And as I say, that's what that little ball does. It keeps the fabrics apart so you don't actually cut into it. So I'm doing it the long way around, but it's still not that slow because it is cutting those fabrics nicely. I think it's Eleanor Burns, a wonderful patchwork lady, many books. She uses the side of her, or the scissor blades. Other people use like hair clippers. I think they brought one out specifically for patchwork, for seam ripping, and but I don't think it's any different to a pair of hair clippers, to be honest. And you've still got to be fairly careful, but you just whiz up here and trim all those seams out. But if I just keep nattering away, it will all be done. So there's all those little bits of thread to pull out, but I shan't do that. We're nearly there now. Okay, so Trisha, use your pins, basically. So let's just take that away. So let's do this again. It just took it down a little bit too far. I like this side where you can just pull that long piece and it pulls all those bits out. That's it, and that little bit there. So let us see once more. Pin. So pin here, and pin here. Make sure the fabric doesn't shift. And when I'm doing this bit here, I'm going to hold it so it doesn't. So take 2. So we will reverse there. I'm not going to do the same thing again. So I'm holding that fabric at the bottom so that it lines up. I think it's just take that pin out. That's better. Okay, so we have a piece. We have our side now with that divider enclosed. So then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we'll take one of these other pieces, and again, if you look, see where I've put that over there, if you look that it, see that it lines up, so you've got your 1/4 inch below, and if it lines up with that edge, you know you're okay. So again, pop a pin in there and a pin in here, and then we'll take our second piece and enclose that sandwich. So line that bottom edge and take the pin out and put it back in, so we're holding them together. I won't take that bit out because I can see that matches at the top perfectly. So press that down and take the pin out just before I get there. This is where I'm coming down here. Don't take your pin out too early. Make sure you take it out, and that way we will get that seam matching beautifully. Okay, so what we have is like a letter H. Here is our divider. Make sure you've got the top edge, that bit with the stitching. And let's just have a look. Just going to have another little slurp before. So here we are, we have our divider in place. So now what do we want to do? We want to put our sides against. So I've got my base here. Let's just move this down, probably freeze because that's what usually happens. So here we have our base piece, okay, and there. So here is our side edge here, and what we want to do is make sure that the stitched edge to our divider is facing inwards, because it's the base edge here that we need to stitch across. So if you can see, what we will do is line up our seam allowance there. So again, I've pushed that back. I'm going to put a pin in here like so, and then on the other side, whoops, where are we? That's it, that needs to go in there. So the divider is in the middle, so just scrunch that out the way. So I'm pushing that seam back and lining that, the side of our divider piece with that, and we will put a pin in there. And you can either mark the centerpiece of that side, or I'll just run my fingers along here and that will just flatten nicely. That's why we left that 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, so that we're not stitching into foam, we are just stitching into fabric. So we'll put a pin there, and then you can check that out, because your divider is going to come up like that. Oh, that's hard to show you, isn't it? But the divider's coming up like that. So I'll just flatten it down. So this is like you were just putting your sides onto that side edge. So again, under the machine, we'll give it a little couple of reverse stitches there. Hold that, or pin that edge up to the center, and then just make sure the divider is out of the way, and I just pull that bit of fabric so that it still lines up here, and press that seam down so that that's it. So go over that seam, and then just line up, just align those raw edges there. So I've still got my pin at this end, and we'll go right up to the end of the raw edge, give it a little reverse. Might be a little bit easier to see now, because here is our other side. There is our other side. So we've got one side attached. Now we need to attach this side here. So just hold it in place as you turn it around, and we have this edge to do now. So here's our little side piece. So splay that seam outwards and line up the raw edge of your front and back piece with the divider in. Pop a pin in there, and then there's the other side, and we're going to do exactly the same here. Splay that seam outwards, line up the raw edge there so that it's in line with the seam we've already stitched, and then again you have got that the divider piece. Just move my fingers towards the middle, and then we can pop another pin. Oops, that's one of my needles, and we'll just put the pin in there, and then all I'm going to do is stitch along here. Here's the divider part, you can see that in there. We'll flatten it down if it gets in the way, but we're going to pop the under there, and then we are going to just reverse that little bit, and then just make sure there's still the raw edges are aligned, and stitch towards the center of where that divider is. And whoops, I'm just making sure that that raw edge is all lined up here. Squash this down. I'm just pushing my fingers down to make sure that's all still lined up, and then right up to the raw edge again, reverse, and cut. Okay, so you can see here, because these sides, this side is going to come up here and this side here. So this is what we're going to do. Now we don't need to leave any sides open for turning because we're turning the top edge in. So again, all we're going to do is bring these sides up together. So align that top edge, finger down the side, hold it, and straight under the presser foot. Just give it a little reverse at the top. Hold that bottom edge and took my finger off the pulse there and stitch all the way down. So I'm on a small stitch. There we are. Bit of thread caught around there, but that's okay. So there is our first corner already done. Then I'm going to take the next one and you see it's all coming together. The only semi-awkward bit is when you've got the divider in place, putting that front and the back on, but there we are, let's just pull those together. But you can just squash that out of the way. Or the alternative, don't put the foam in the middle, but I think it just gives it a nice rigid feel to that dividing part. Okay. So there you can see is the first pocket made. So we're just going to take these flaps up, or the side part up there, and again top edge, want that to be flush, finger down to the bottom, and we will reverse at the top. Whoops. So just be careful that the foam stabilizer there, or the foam wadding, does pull it out of place a little bit, but just hold it firm or put your pins there. And then the last side edge, line up the top, finger down there, squash, and then pop it under the machine, reverse a little bit, and straight down. Okay. So we have our container. So there is our lining, divider in place. You can see it doesn't move because that's got the foam wadding in there, the Styleville. So the next bit to make life easy, and you can either use an iron. In fact, I might. Using an iron is, I'm just going to put my little iron on and see if I can find. Oh, you see, I take out, so I put the iron on. I'm just going to get one of my pressing mats from down here. So I've been using the smaller, the 8-inch one, because it's still quite handy. Let's smooth it down like that. So what we're going to do here, actually what we'll do, we'll turn it if we can that way, because I want to turn it back again. I want to turn back these top edges, so I just want to fold it back 1/4 inch and press it. So it would be easier the other way. No, you can't see what I'm doing here. But all I'm doing, so you could, if you wanted, use your fingernails, but I just thought it will press so much quicker if I just use an iron. So I'm just folding back 1/4 inch or so, and then just run the tip of the iron along there. Yeah, that's going beautifully. And then this corner as well, whichever way you want the seams to go. They can both go inwards or both splay outwards. It's no particular way that it should. You could actually separate that one out. You could open it out, because the foam stabilizer is actually opening it out anyway. So I'll show you this in a second when I've done it. And that little bit there. So as I say, pressing mat at the ready. Oh, which reminds me, I'm going to do every weekend, I'm going to have a deal on the website. So there'll be something different each weekend, an offer on a particular product or a discount across the board. So I will tell you on Friday what it's going to be for the coming weekend, so that you can take a little trolley over to the website and have a look, see what's on there and what the special is. So you can see there how I've turned those back. So now we're going to take our little box and we're just going to put that inside. Just spread that out, and by folding and pressing that 1/4 inch seam allowance back, what it means is you've only got one seam to press in. So I think it's probably better to open these seams out at the corners. Just fold that in, and this is where I like to use a lot of pins or binding clips. So binding clip at the ready, fold that outer edge in. It's not the easiest to go around without anything holding it in place. I wouldn't attempt that. I would put pins, and all I'm doing now is just lining up those side seams and get my clips here, and then in the middle. So when it comes to this edge, what I do, just pull that in, and then that lines up beautifully there. So either 1 or 2, I put pins in here just to hold that. And you want the edge of your lining fabric to be practically on the edge of your foam wadding as well. It just makes it sit nicely. So just fold that in and then tuck all these, either trim these threads off or tuck them down, and line up that seam allowance there, and get another binding clip, and then the same here. You can see I'm just teasing that little bit open, just flattens out the bulk that is in that area. I mean, it may be that your machine doesn't particularly like too much bulk, but that is reducing it by splaying those seams. Right, let's just tuck that in, and there we go there. Just pull that up nicely so that is together, because you want that seam, when we come to top stitch around the top here, you don't want that to not catch. So this time I'm just going to put my fingers here and just pulling that just to gauge where the center is there. And again, see if we can find a binding clip to go on this part. And oops, I've got some more on. So I just put one in the center. We can use pins at the other sides. So I'm putting my fingers in here so that I can find that center bit just there, and then bring that to it. If you just pull to there, you can see whether that fits properly. Yes, I can see that does. So I've just got one more. So I put the binding clip there, and then again you sectioned it off into 2 parts. So just tuck that in, just fold that edge in, and we can put a couple of pins along this top edge just to hold in place. So make sure you can manipulate it as you're stitching, but just make sure that the top of the lining, you want it to be near the top. We don't really want to see it, but when it's near the top, you know that you're catching that seam in. So just hold that nicely, pin and pin. And then all we're going to do, oh, we've got this side to do as well. Okay, so just tuck that in, perhaps put one pin in the middle there. And as I say, we can just manipulate it as we go. So pin, and here, tuck that in, and pin just there. So now, this little bit, the divider does get in the way to a degree, but because we're going to put this over the machine, and it will fit in when the arm goes into that recess, but when we get to where the divider is, that gets in the way, but we just move it then. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to tuck that over where the arm is, and I'm going to do a short stitch here. In fact, I'm just going to move that over, yeah, because it went back, didn't it? 5.6, that's it. So I'm going to stitch fairly close to the edge, and I'm going to use a fairly short stitch because I want it to catch. And then I'm just manipulating this bit here to make sure I can just see that lining fabric. Then I'm going to take the clip off, and again I can just see the lining, because I know if I can just see the lining fabric. Now what's happening now is the divider is catching, so I'm just going to move that divider. Now I can just go a little bit more, but as soon as it's getting in the way, I'm going to move it. So it's getting in the way there, so I'm just going to lift this up so that it's not in the way. Okay, and I'm still looking at where the fabric lining is, and just so that I can see it, I'm also looking at to make sure that that's all tucked in, and also there's a line on my foot, on my sewing machine foot. So again here, you could actually pop that over, and so you're just manipulating the box. I'm just going to take that out because I can see my lining fabric. That's it. So I'm lining it up as I go as well. It was holding it in place until I got there. And then, as I say again, because we want this top edge to be as continuous, as straight as we can. We don't really want it to go up and down, but sometimes you just can't help it. So here, I've just put the divider down because, or I've put this arm into, because you can see that space there. So that's allowed me to put the arm into that pocket. So it makes it nice and easy along here. So just keep, I can see that's moved a little bit. So keep pushing that fabric so that you can see the lining, to know that your lining is being attached as well. We'll have a look. It worked pretty well on the one I made earlier, but let's just have a look, see how this is going. Okay, so now my divider is getting in the way, so let's just lift that up so it's not there, and then you could do this the whole way round, I suppose, but I'm just pushing that back a little bit so that I can see the lining, and the lining is near that top edge, and I don't want it to miss a bit. In fact, yes, I'd missed a little bit on the previous one, but I just went back in and stitched a little bit more. So we are nearly the whole way round. So you can see it's not. Now I can put this into the pocket here. Can you see? So now I've just put that down because it's in the arm, it's three arm is in that pocket. These are pretty quick to make. So again, I'm just watching where the lining is. Now it's tucked down a little bit there, and I think it's still okay because it's near that top edge. And we are nearly the whole way round. So I'm just going to pull that little bit of thread out, because it quite often just gets stitched in with the, there it is. Let's just get it stitched in, and I don't want it to be. Let's just pull that away and cut that off, and then just watch that lining fabric there, and then just meet where we started stitching, and just stitch over those first few stitches. Let's have a look, let's hope. There we go. So just push the seams into the corners. Now I was thinking what you could do, because that pulls that little bit there, what you could do is actually stitch just down here, just to hold that, because your machine would just go into there, not the whole way down, but just to hold those edges together. Or you could go in a second time and just stitch another row of stitching a little bit further down, sort of say 1/4 inch down, and that would hold those edges into the sides. But there we have it, completely finished. Ours used to do that too, but when we weren't looking. Oh right, I don't know what we've been talking about. Oh, the cat brought you a gift. Oh, I hope it wasn't a mouse. So there it is, another one. What did I do with my first one? Oh, I know, I put it up behind me, didn't I? So yes, it has caught all of that around the top. So just, as I say, watch out for that, the lining being at the top edge, just so that you can get it fairly neat. As I did use a fairly short length stitch, just because I quite like it. The bigger the stitch, the top here will sometimes, it won't hold it together as well, so you get like little gaps because the stitch is bigger. Oh, glad you liked it, Carrie. So now, and then there were two. So 2 little fabric tubs with dividers, as I said, made using the base pattern of the double bag, and the double bottle bag holder. Oh, good. Glad you enjoyed, Anne. Just adapted that, and that was made. Oh, when did I do this? Probably 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, it is nice and easy. As I say, the hardest part, I think, is when you're putting the lining in and you've got this divider in the way. It is easier if you've got no stabiliser in here. You could perhaps try, rather than foam wadding, to put some, you like that. Oh, you've got a football match to go. I'm thinking if the lining was locked, yeah, that's true. That is true. You could indeed do that. Or actually, because it's quite, yeah, there's plenty in there. You could do that. So with the lining, where I would still turn it over. You're going to buy the sketchy fabric you've got to find my... Oh, yes, that would be good. You could pull this over and fold it once more and then stitch all the way round, so you've got like a binding around the top. That's a good idea, Bridget. Yeah. But yeah, so as simple as that. Okay, it is 6:10. I really have been going on for quite some time now, haven't I? So I'll put that there as well. So what I will say, thank you so much for watching. You're going to make some special girls. Oh yes, that special girl, Poppy. That will be lovely. Yes. If you've got a camper van, you can have a week's holiday, book a village half one. Ooh. Have a week's holiday, book a village half for one day and do a craft a lot. Yeah. Oh, what a good idea. What a good idea. I would have loved, thank you, Bev, to have a holiday home, you know, on a park, and be able to do, or have perhaps 2 or 3, and be able to do courses and that, but you can't do that. You're not allowed to, and you couldn't be in there all year round anyway. But, yeah, lots of things to think about, how we could do things, because I must get back to doing some workshops and getting out there. But I will send you the PDF. And yeah, if we can leave the PDF up for, because I may very well do a kit with this, but you will be the first to have seen it. So we'll leave it up for, where are we today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 48 hours, or till 6 o'clock or midnight on Friday. So for those people that can't watch live, it will still be there in the group, in the So Trisha Sews group, until Friday at midnight. So that is the 27th of August. So it gives you this evening and a couple more evenings to watch. Yeah, could do, couldn't I, Bridget? Yep. And wouldn't take too much fabric. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. I'm already thinking about the shows in September, and I haven't even done the ones in August yet. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. I hope you, thank you, Lindsay. I hope you like the fabrics. We'll see what I can do with them very soon. Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, in the Sew Trisha Sews group, I will show you in more depth the special new ruler. Oh, hello, Diane. Have a look. I shall share it, so it will be there for you to watch through. Would be nice in Christmas fabrics. Yes. Yeah. Have a look through a little bit later. It will be on in the next 5 minutes. I come off and I save it and then share it to the page, so you'll be able to look through again and see those beautiful fabrics that I showed everybody earlier. So have a lovely evening, everybody. See you at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It is Thursday, isn't it? For probably about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll show you how it works and we will go from there. So thank you for joining me, and bye, everybody. I will see you, Sam. Bye for now. Take care.